Hey guys, isn't the nighttime supposed to be here? The phone's ringing. I guess we should hang that up.
Hey, glad you came back for another video. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. We found some lore and some other interesting stuff. Then again, it might just be another... Wait, I thought I was making a FNAF 2 video, not a FNAF 3 video. Hold on you guys, give me a second.
Was that the bite of 80?
And there we go, that's better. Actually, one more thing, hold on. Alright, we should be good to go now. Sorry about that, I was a little lost in the FNAF multiverse. Anyways, let's begin. Today we're taking a deep dive, not quite into the pit, and learning everything there is to know about the hit classic, I don't like this game, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Also, yes, I know this is my second FNAF 2 video in a row. Please just watch. I'm not hating on the game this time, I promise you guys. If you didn't watch the first episode I made of this, let me explain how this works. Today we will dig through FNAF 2 and pick out all of the lore relevant details inside. We will not be using details from anything else, only what is in this game specifically. After that, we move on to the second part of the video where we'll be figuring out what questions the game is trying to present to the community using the details we picked out. I will answer any of these that we can, and then we will move to the final part of the video. In this section, I will be using information we gathered in previous parts of the series, currently only from FNAF 1, and connecting whatever I can to the info we learned today. I will also take a look at our FNAF 1 questions and see if any were answered by this game. If you're confused, don't worry. It's pretty simple and you'll start to understand as we go along. One more thing before we start, make sure you like the video if you enjoy it, and consider subscribing to the channel for more great FNAF content like this video. Okay, with all my rambling out of the way, an Indigo Park reference in 2025 is crazy, I know. Let's start with the lore details of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The best place to start most things is at the beginning. This is no different for FNAF 2. This newspaper is the first thing you see. Well, kinda, we will get to that later, when playing the game. There's pretty much just one thing here worth talking about. This game takes place during a grand reopening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. They advertise this a lot in the few words they have, indicating that this must be a somewhat important detail to the story. The pay here is not important because of something we'll get to later. FNAF 2 is similar to the first game in that you get a phone call from the ever-popular phone guy at the start of each night. In this game, we even get a call on night 6, so there's quite a bit to unpack here. Starting with night 1, according to him, this is a summer job at a newly opened Freddy's location. He mentions an old location that he really wants you to forget about. He won't tell us what happened though. He then explains that you're the second guard to work here, and the first one complained about the animatronics trying to get into his office. He gives a very obviously fake and forged Fazbear Entertainment explanation about why they do this, and he tells you to stop them before ending the call. Oh yeah, the new animatronics are really advanced and are tied to a criminal database with facial recognition tech. Where do they even get the money for this technology? Especially in the... Wait, I can't talk about that yet. Night 2 begins the explanations of the Wizards. They're apparently retrofitted with some of the new tech, so that's great for us. They shouldn't be able to walk around, but the mask works on them too, so whatever, who cares? Phone Guy then reminisces on the good old days of Foxy, telling us that he hated being flashed, that the puppet is always thinking, and then hangs up. Night 3 explains the take apart and put back together animatronic that is Mangle. How that is any amount safe, I do not know. Anyways, he says to just ignore any rumors you hear because they often never mean anything at all. Maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Sorry, I just do that sometimes. Night 4 is about an investigation being done into the company. They, of course, deny any wrongdoing. It is Fazbear Entertainment. He then warns you to avoid eye contact because the animatronics are being aggressive to adults, fine to kids though, so they think it's okay. They also may have to close for a few days. By literally the next night, the building is on lockdown, especially for previous employees. The day shift is also available now, so that's interesting. They're trying to contact the owner of a previous location called Fredbear's Family Diner. We're now at night 6, but we're not really supposed to be there, according to the phone guy. The place is closed after an incident where someone used a spare yellow suit, which has caused the characters to completely malfunction. You're then told that you work the last birthday party the next day, and that's all the information that you get from the phone guy. It's quite a lot, actually. Next up, the post-night cutscenes. At the end of some nights, and when booting up the game for the first time, you will be presented with an interactable cutscene kind of thing. They all take place on the FNAF 1 stage, which is significant because this is the first direct link to FNAF 1 besides the phone guy. You are also looking through the eyes of the main bear himself, Freddy Fazbear. On the first one, Chica and Bonnie can be seen looking straight ahead. The scene ends with a glitch and a message saying error. In the second one, Chica and Bonnie are looking at the player. The screen again ends with a glitch followed by the message "It's me." The third cutscene has Chica and Bonnie looking at you again, but more angrily. After a short time, Golden Freddy will appear, standing in front of the stage you're on. The scene then ends with the same as the last, with "It's me." The fourth and final scene has Chica and Bonnie reset to their normal positions looking straight ahead. The puppet then appears and will follow you wherever you look. The game will end with the text "It's me" yet again. These are interesting, especially because of the character choices. Let's move on to a fan favorite character, the puppet. The puppet, first officially known as the marionette, is the most intriguing character in the second game to a lot of people. It makes sense why this is the case. It's so mysterious, and it acts differently from the others. It's the only animatronic that is calmed by the music box, and is one of only 2 that the mask will not fool, the other being Withered Foxy. The phone guy states that the puppet is always thinking, whatever that may mean to him. The real lore found within this character actually comes not from the main gameplay, but the death minigames. There are 4 of these, and they all contain the puppet in some way. The first is called Take Cake to the Children. You play as Freddy, giving cupcakes to crying kids. There is a single lonely child outside the building, seemingly locked out from the party. After a short time, a purple car pulls up, and a purple guy, we'll get to him later, proceeds to get out of the car and kill the child. He then drives away, and the game ends with a puppet jump scare. The next one, Give Gifts, Give Life, features the puppet prominently. You play as it, first putting masks on dead children before then giving them gift boxes. In the very last frame of this minigame, a 5th child appears before the player is jump scared by Golden Freddy, specifically the withered version of him. The third game, titled Save Them, has us play as Withered Freddy in the FNAF 2 location. There are 5 bodies spread across the building. There is also every main character in FNAF 2 present, besides Balloon Boy. I guess Scott also hates him, like I do. The puppet leads you to a specific room, with a voice spelling out "Save Them" in the background. The minigame can end in multiple ways, one of which is a rare chance of the purple guy coming after you. Either way, the game glitches and the game ends with the text "You can't," most likely referring to the voice saying "Save Them." The last death minigame is Foxy Go Go Go. You play as Foxy and run out of the stage 3 times to greet 5 kids. First 2 times have confetti and celebrations, but the third is different. The purple guy is waiting in the corner, smiling. When you go to check on the kids, they're dead. The game ends with a Withered Foxy jump scare. All of those minigames make me think of one question. Who is the purple guy? Here's what we know. He is holding something in this game, and he has a badge on. And that's literally it. I mean, yeah, we see him unalive a kid, but besides that, nothing is confirmed about him. Yeah, FNAF 2 is the first game that really starts to build a story for this franchise, and you can see Scott's style already taking shape. Vague lore hints that definitely will never be an issue. Moving on. Let's talk about some more obscure characters and my personal favorites in this game, starting with these Shadow animatronics. Shadow Freddy and RWQFSFASXC. Yes, that's his real name, or just Shadow Bonnie, but that's boring. They're Easter eggs that sometimes appear in FNAF 2. Bonnie will appear in the office and resembles Toy Bonnie in looks. He can end your game if you don't flash your light on him. Or put up the cams, I don't know, it's not really important for this video. Shadow Freddy will appear in parts and services. He looks exactly like Wither Golden Freddy and is significantly more purple than Shadow Bonnie. He can't kill you and has no effect on the actual gameplay. These characters are just so interesting to me, and I want to make a video on them someday, but for now, this is all we know about them. Another weird character in this game is Wither Golden Freddy. He will appear in the office, limp and lifeless, or at the end of the hallway as a floating head. Again, not much here about him besides that, but it is important to include these characters in a video such as this one. That's pretty much FNAF 2, well, besides the endings, so let's talk about those. Similar to Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the endings are just kind of still shots of papers, so this should be quick. Night 5 ends with your $100.50 check from Fazbear Entertainment. Two things here, the date is November 12th, 1987, and the name is Jeremy Fitzgerald. The date here is curious, specifically because the phone guy mentions that this is your new summer job. We will discuss this later, but for now, Night 6. This night gives us a newspaper clipping explaining how Fazbear Entertainment is closing down due to malfunctions with the animatronics. The new animatronics will be scrapped, but the older models will be saved in hopes of opening again someday. The check doesn't have anything significant on it. The custom night ends with a pink slip for a new character named Fritz Smith. He is employee number 3, gets fired after literally one day, and was tampering with the animatronics and smelled really bad. With that, we have every single detail that I think is lore or story relevant in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So where does that put us? Well, let's define some words real quick. Now hear me out. The story and the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's are two different things. Story refers to the game and what happens during your time playing. The lore is the overall effect that details in the game have on the overarching narrative of the entire series. So let's cover the story of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 first. You are a new night guard by the name of Jeremy Fitzgerald. You are starting your new maybe summer, maybe fall job at a place called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Over your 6 nights, you learn of an investigation into the company, presumably about the animatronics. Someone is said to have used a spare yellow suit, causing the characters to malfunction. You get your check and the place is shut down. That's it. That's the actual story of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It's pretty simple. On the other hand, the lore is, well, it's FNAF, so what do you expect? It's complicated. I don't really know where to start with this one, to be honest, so let's just go through the list of questions that this game tries to make the player ask. Now, this is a long list, but I think we can get through it. If you made it this far, you clearly love FNAF, so just stick with me here. When did the old location close? We don't know. Why did it close? We also don't know. The most likely thing that could answer this is the minigame Take Cake. The death that we see here may very well be the reason that the old place is closed down, but it's not confirmed. What about the summer versus November discrepancy? I think this was just a mistake and isn't really lore relevant. You could say the phone messages are like pre-recorded for a summer position, but then you take the job in the fall because of some like delay with the opening of the store. But I honestly don't think it makes a difference to the lore. Is the first security guard before you important? As of now, we don't have enough information to determine that. He leaves under mysterious circumstances, and that's all we know. Using the context that the minigames give us, we can kind of assume that the rumors are about these kids that die in the minigames. The investigation is probably also leaning towards this. The previous employee line is interesting. We don't, as of FNAF 2, know what person this is referring to. What about the yellow suit incident? The only yellow suit we know of in this game is Golden Freddy, but it's not confirmed that this is the specific suit used. We also don't know why this causes the suits to malfunction. A good assumption is again to do with the killings, but it's not confirmed. Fredbear's Family Diner is also a complete mystery at the moment, along with its original owner that they mentioned. Purple Guy is probably the biggest mystery in this game. We don't know who he is or why he decides to do what he does. The Foxy game implies that he actually is responsible for at least 6 deaths. We don't know when these games happen, but they tell a story of 6 kids who lost their lives at some point in the Fazbear Entertainment operations. Who wants us to save these kids, and who is saying that we can't? No clue on this one either. The shadows are another random thing with no current explanation, along with the post-night cutscenes. There's a lot of just unexplained stuff in this game, and as a pattern going forward with these videos, you'll see that that is a very common thing within the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Now let's look at the case of our FNAF 1 video. Let's review the last episode and see if we can answer any of the questions that we came up with in that episode. We know that there were at least 3 other locations open before FNAF 1, which we didn't know before. The minigames in FNAF 2 are showing us the story of the MCI. We know that the killer uses a suit according to the newspapers. In FNAF 2 Calls, we know that it was a spare yellow suit. The only suit we currently know of is Golden Freddy, but this suit appears to be haunted in some way, so we still don't know the mascot that the killer was in. It is implied through the minigames that the kids end up possessing the suits, so we now know why they move around. None of the other questions on here are answered with additional details we learn in FNAF 2. With that, we are pretty much finished here. Just one interesting connection, we are fired for the same reason in both games. I wonder if that'll come up later. Just as a quick side note here, you may notice that I didn't really connect anything from FNAF 1 to FNAF 2, and that's because I'm waiting until I make the 3rd video in this series to do that, because the first 3 games were supposed to be a trilogy, and I feel like connecting stuff to after every single game is not going to work out very well. So I'm going to do like FNAF 1 through 3 and then connect it all, do FNAF 4 through 6 and then connect it all and then connect that back to the original trilogy, and rinse and repeat until we catch up to modern day, if I ever catch up to modern day, because I'm also going to be doing the books, which I still have to read a lot of the books. I've read like the novel trilogy and up to like book 8 of Fazbear Frights, but I have not read all of them, and I really need to because I'm going to make this video. I also have to go through the survival logbook and all the character encyclopedia and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff for me to go through before this series is finished, if it ever gets finished, but I really hope it does. Anyways, outro time. I think I got pretty much everything that we needed from FNAF 2. Again, I'm not trying to assume anything with these videos. I'm just trying to gather all the details we can and compile them into this series. At the end, I will use everything I find to create my take on a FNAF timeline. That will take a while, so in the meantime, feel free to like the video and sub to the channel to see future uploads. Next video will be the highly anticipated security breach video, where I redesign Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. For now, this has been FM Plus. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, superstars. Side note again, really before I end the video, this is like the longest video I've ever made on this channel. I mean, besides like my speedrun vids, but those don't count. Do you guys like videos that are this long? Because I like making them, but they take a lot of work, and it will definitely mean that there will be at least 2 weeks between uploads instead of 1 week for shorter videos. But let me know what you want in the comments, because I'm always open to suggestions and stuff like that. Anyways, goodbye now, for real. For real, play the end card outro thing.